Turn it up.
Hang on, I totally messed up all my shit.
Ooh.
You guys didn't
And
give
we're
me
live.
Yeah, I know. You guys didn't give me enough time.
Andy, beatbox now.
Wait. Okay, here we go. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Thursday and it's time for Crash and Burn. So welcome to the show. I'm Mike, I'm your host, and tonight we have an awesome show with you. With me is my usual crew. Erica, how are you tonight?
Good, really good.
Yeah, cool. Andy, how are you tonight?
Good, really good.
Yeah.
That
Dick.
was good. That sounded exactly like her. And Lennon Glia, how are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good. Really good, but just good.
You're all assholes.
Oh, shit. That's good. So yeah, it's Thursday. It's April 7th, so it's our first show of April. Last week we had Alexandria Design on, and it was a good show. We learned all about holsters and some cool stuff that he does. So that was fun. If you guys are listening, you guys probably know, but jump over on the Q&A on the Googles, or you can jump over to gunchannels.com/crashandburn and join us in the chat room, because the chat room is where the fun happens. This month's sponsors, thank you to them. They were all great people, and we're glad to have them aboard for this month. So thank you to Fox Den Tactical. Check out their website. Broken Angel Gear, Clean Snatch Soap, and Firearms Training of Western New York. Thank you guys for making this happen. So
Is the division sponsoring us this month?
by the amount of time we play into them, they should sponsor us.
What did you guys call it today? The
Defiant.
I called it
The-
Andy called it the Defiance.
Defiance. That's it. The Defiance.
Bear thought he had Destiny, but he was wrong.
I think I should buy an Xbox so I can be in the crowd.
Yeah, because buying expensive things totally always makes you the cool kid.
Did when I was 14.
Yeah, that's you just explained the story of my life.
Do you remember Tech Decks?
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Hola, bro. Anyways, let's get this party started. I'm going to throw it over to Erica for the first news article of the night, and give you guys a chance to log up onto Gun Channels and join the fun.
Okay, so my news article is something that I didn't find it. Mike actually found it, and he found it on Facebook. So it's real informational and like Yeah. No, it's not. But it's pretty sensational and just ridiculous, and I had to share it with you guys. So there is a 55-year-old now woman,
Yeah.
an M2F transgender. So M2F means male to female. So was started life as a male, has transgendered to a female, and had her ears, nose removed, had her full face tattooed, a forked tongue, has put horns in her skull, dyed the pupils white that are white green, and is now changing to a dragon.
I wonder if she's going to get a tail, because I know you can do that, too. I've seen tail implants.
Really? You can get a tail implant?
Yeah. Yep.
No way.
So instead of her pronouns, no longer her, it's it.
Well, it prefers to be called it.
It, yes, it prefers to be called it and would like to be seen as the mythical creature that it is. So it's shedding its human skin. And this is what she said to a whole bunch of people that interviewed her, shedding her human skin to become the mythical creature. So, oh, and we have a new name too. So it is now, I'm gonna, okay, it's Eva Tiamat Medusa, which is a video game name that she goes by now.
A video game?
Yeah, yep.
You guys
That
remember
it goes by now.
that Second Life game or whatever? Andy, did you do that? You sound like somebody that would have done that.
No. I know what you're talking about. Absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
No.
It reminds me of that movie Surrogates.
Yeah, it's like Sims on steroids.
It believes it was born of the wrong species,
Yes.
but dragon's not a species.
Dragons apparently also don't lie.
Well, read the line, because the line about dragons not lying is
I gotta
is
find it
absolutely
now.
hilarious.
Do you remember it, Mike? Because
You're on a different article.
well, there's so many articles about it now. I can't.
Yeah, it was like humans can lie, but you've never seen a dragon that's lied.
Can't
I
argue
never-
with
never
that.
lied.
Truth.
Off
Truth
the,
there.
off the magic dragon, never lied.
Alex says we're talking shit about D&D gods.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of pictures of this transformation now that you can go and look at, and
Trans-testicle dragon.
I don't even know what to say about this. Like, I'm really kind of an open-minded person, but like, how do you like? It's not even like, oh, I really relate to like a dog. I see a dog. I have dogs. I get dogs see, touch, real thing.
Right.
How can you be like, yeah, I'm a dragon. I totally relate to a dragon. Yeah, you don't know. Where are they?
Yeah, I don't know where you get a dragon out of
I've
it.
hung out with a bunch of them, and I really I see their views the same way.
But like, I could get like if it said like, I like dragons and I want to be more like a dragon, but to say I am a dragon, I was born as the wrong species, there is no such thing as a dragon.
Right.
Yeah, supposedly. I mean, I've never seen one.
But they don't lie.
Yeah, if they don't lie, where would they hide?
Tiamat is a 5-headed dragon god from D&D.
I did not know that. Now I do.
Right.
Okay.
Cutting off your ears
No.
is really serious.
You've got to be some serious levels of fucked up to be like, I'm a dragon from D&D. Like that, and then really be like, yeah, I'm going to transform, cut my ears off, cut my nose off.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, yeah.
These aren't just tattoos now. We're going straight. There's a line, and we like blew through that line. We crossed the line, we jumped over it, and we just kept going. So, oh, and not to mention, it has a son.
Oh, really?
A baby dragon?
So
How
what's
selfish!
Baby dragon.
He's got a baby dragon.
Does his
What
son
did-
introduce himself as half dragon?
Did it hatch out of an egg?
Oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
I almost said the baby dragon was conceived. No.
Oh, the baby dragon was not hatched.
The son was born when the dragon was a man.
David's saying that I'm
So-
a dragonist.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, apparently I'm a dragonist because I don't like dragon people.
So basically, this guy's just like goth gone like way too far.
Yeah.
But I could understand that if you were like, I just want to be weird looking and I want to look like a dragon. But to say I am a dragon is kind of the weird, the over the line
Right.
kind of.
He's also not the first either. And
No.
there's been others.
Wasn't there? Didn't you find somebody that looked like a parrot or something, Mike?
I
That
did
like,
find another guy that, based on looking at that stuff, there was a guy that changed his
species to a parrot.
or tried to look more like a parrot. Cut off his ears to be a parrot.
Now is he going this far to say?
Cut off your.
Mexico.
Ah,
If you were like, I want to look
Yeah.
like a dragon. You think dragons are cool? I'm gonna tattoo myself and change my body. It's the I think I'm a dragon thing
Yeah.
that is the weird part.
There's a whole
Yeah.
level that actual thought is I want to be recognized as I am a dragon. I'm
Yeah.
a mythical beast. It's not even I'm a mythical creature.
yeah, it's I don't know. It literally is beyond me.
Yeah.
And then what do
I-
you do with like so New York City was just like, yeah, transgenders can use whatever bathroom they feel appropriate.
Right? They just announced that
Okay.
they can use whatever bathroom.
So where does the dragon go?
Yeah.
In the park.
It's-
On some newspaper. Somebody come along and clean it up.
In the
Little
woods.
dragon turds.
Dragons go outside. They don't have to go inside.
Right.
don't you use like little cave bathrooms?
Couldn't. What if it? Can he fly? Can it fly?
Not all dragons can fly.
What about fire breathing?
Mm.
That's only the red ones.
Only the red ones.
only red ones can fire breathe.
I don't know.
Wait, Alex seems to know a lot about this, so can you ask him?
Alex, what who can fire breathe?
Yeah, is this one is fire breather?
Yeah,
I
is
mean,
this a thing?
Like blue ones breathe ice. And clearly it's
Yeah.
going for green dragon, so what kind of does that do? What power is that?
maybe they're
Right.
like red is fire. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
red is fire. We've been told. So
Yeah.
that's good to know. I mean,
So if you come across a red one, you
I
don't want to
hadn't-
piss him off.
I had no idea.
So what does a
it's
green
like-
one do?
Green is acid. Acid.
Okay. So it is an acid dragon.
It's an acid dragon.
Wow, it's an acid.
Is that true,
It's an acid
Alex?
something.
Is the however you pronounce it thing? Is that one five-headed one an acid dragon? Or did she just pick her? It just pick it? God, crap!
It's so difficult.
I'm trying to like really.
It's a female dragon.
No,
Oh,
no, not he.
Well,
It.
not yet.
Its pronouns
It.
want to be referred to as it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm awfully confused. So there's that.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I'm not really a closed-minded person. For any of you that know me, I have a brother that is transgender. So, F to M, so female to male. So it's not something that I haven't dealt with, but this just kind of like blew my mind.
Andy, your brother Dave on Gun Channel says LGBTD.
Yeah.
All right, so
don't care what people do to themselves. But this just blows my-
Glen hate dragon people.
we went
yeah,
over this.
yeah.
dragonist.
Apparently I'm a dragonist.
Dragonist. Oh man.
I just feel like someday he's gonna want his ears back. He's gonna want his ears back.
And his
But they're-
nose.
Dragons
I'm
not
assuming
weird.
Just remove the cartilage. Like he can still hear, right?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, but not as well.
Can you hear like
No.
things behind you better?
Wait.
He can't hear directions.
Oh, like you can't tell him how to do something?
Obviously, he doesn't listen much.
Oh, those
See?
dragons have ears.
Those dragons have horns. They're
All right,
horns.
enough dragons.
What
We're
do you do?
dragging this out too much.
Ah.
That was bad.
On that note, so yeah, so today is National Beer Day. What is it? It's a beer day.
It's the anniversary of the repeal of Prohibition.
Erica
National
made
Beer
that up.
Day.
National Beer Day. So I am drinking tonight. I guess we'll combine ramblings and drink of the week. So I'm drinking a Burning River Pale Ale tonight, and so is Erica's, what I picked up on the way home. Andy, what are you drinking?
A pretzel.
Mm.
A shock top.
Oh, I'm super curious about that.
Oh, it's really good. I've had that.
It smells like a pretzel. Twisted pretzel wheat.
Does it taste like a pretzel or just smell like one?
It does taste a little bit like a pretzel.
Andy,
Salty?
you thought you were a jackalope till you were 10?
I really wanted jackalope. I almost bought one when we were out west.
Is it a real thing?
Yeah, of course. I love jackalopes.
Oh, I didn't
You know
know
what
that.
jackalope is, Mike?
No. Is it like a plane with feelings?
No, it's a rabbit with antlers. They're
Oh.
very fast and they're hard to kill.
They're very hard to find. They're rare.
Very
Very
rare.
rare.
Actually, out west, they're everywhere. They're in every gas station now.
Yeah, they're in all the gas stations and Indian thrift stores.
Are you guys joshing me?
Nope.
Google it. There's tons of pictures. There's a picture of a person hunting one.
Really?
Look it up.
Jackalope.
The jackalope rut.
A rabbit did a antelope once.
Oh, it's a mythical animal, you douches.
I can't believe you've never heard of a jackalope before.
Oh, now I want one.
You douche.
They're on
Although-
Amazon.
I'm going to put some...
Pictures of them. There's like little baby jackalopes that are really cute.
Ah,
Give me some.
kill it!
Give me
kill
something
it!
to kill it
Kill
with.
it!
I don't want to hurt my
Shoot it!
screen. I don't want to use my business
Point
card.
a gun at it. What is it?
Is it a stink bug?
It's a spider! Or it was.
It's nothing anymore.
Oh my god.
All right, there's a smear on my little monitor.
Sorry.
All right, see all kinds of death and destruction in this show. All right. Anyways, so what everybody do this week? What we got any cool news or anything or just cool things going on? Andy's got a new something.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not yet.
Not yet. All right, we'll wait on
Why?
that. Dirty Dan's got a new puppy. I get to babysit
Aw.
Maggie on Saturday. He got a
On
fishing dog.
Saturday? Yes.
Andy got a fishing dog that I get to babysit on Saturday.
Andy didn't get a fish.
But not Andy, Dirty Dan. So I'm excited for that. Leah, how any interesting customers or people this week?
Always. What did I have this week? I didn't really have any. I haven't really talked to customers this week. I hide a lot to avoid them.
Yeah, we had a pretty uneventful week at the shop. I mean, normal.
Really?
What? That's not what I heard.
Uneventful.
Yeah,
Cops
Oh.
have been there every
Oh.
day.
The half dozen police officers would disagree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so why don't you tell everybody what happened there, Glenn?
So I guess going back almost 2 weeks now, we had a customer come in and attempt to buy a AR-15 lower receiver. At the time, we were a little busy. We were selling multiple guns. Passed the form off to Mike. He ran the form. Came back as a delay. After a delay, the customer left, and we reviewed the form. And on the form, he had said that he was convicted of a felony and had renounced his U.S. citizenship. Which, if you're in the industry, you know once you answer those two questions, it's a no-go. You can't sell a firearm.
What? Can I just? I just want to interrupt you real quick. Why didn't it just deny him?
Ask the FBI.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
whatever happened, like I don't this week or last week, it was right around the time like everybody was getting delayed. Even ones that came back proceeds were getting delayed.
Yeah,
Even if-
that day we had like 4 delays.
Yeah.
So a couple days go by, it comes back through the computer as a denied. We were sitting there. One of our friends, who's a sheriff's deputy in a neighboring county, was sitting there when it came back denied, and we were kind of talking to him about it. He glanced at the form, and apparently something on the form raised some red flags in his head that we didn't see. So he called around to a few people, and this was Friday or Saturday. So he called around to a few people. It was late at night, so we didn't get any calls back. Tuesday, I got a call from the state police, and they're all interested in what happened. So I give them all the information. I give them the customer's information and everything, and I'm instructed to call the local law enforcement and file a report, which I do. I call 911, go through the whole talking to the operator, which I didn't know a 911 operator could sound so irritated that I called them. But they sounded pretty irritated. They sent out a patrol car, filed the report, did all that nonsense. And this was a good part of Tuesday was dealing with all this. So I had Greece police and a few others in the door on Tuesday. Come Wednesday morning, right at 11 o'clock, open the doors. Customer comes in, asks for a lower. I start talking to him for a little bit, and there's kind of a hair on the back of my neck standing up already because it just didn't seem right. Had no idea what he wanted to do with it. Had no idea anything about our ARs, nothing. Which is not totally out of the blue, but it just kind of was weird. In the process of having him fill out the form, the customer that had been denied and had just previously spent the last day reporting to the police walked in. They had driven together. We have a pretty small parking lot. I could see there's only one car there. So I'm chatting with him. I'm chatting with the other customer. Basically, I figure out that this guy is buying the lower for his buddy who was just denied.
Straw purchase, for those of you who have heard the terminology, but never really, everybody asks, how does that happen? So this is a great explanation of what straw purchase is and why we want to stop them.
Absolutely. So I had already, in my interactions with the police the day before, I had been told that this gentleman had a very long rap sheet, several felony arrests. One was for armed robbery, so I was kind of on toes when I saw him. And I stalled because right when we opened, I was the first one there. Andy was coming in. Andy showed up with his, and he was out in the parking lot, and I actually texted him. I was like, "Get in here right now. Make sure you're armed, just in case, because I'm going to end this sale." And I actually ended up stalling so long that they were like, "Oh, we're going to get some coffee while you run the background check and be back." Which was perfect, because then they called to see if everything was ready, and I told them that he was on delay, and then hung up the phone and immediately called 911, which resulted in half of the Greece Police Department coming in because either they wanted to know what happened or they just realized there was a new gun shop in their town.
Yeah.
So for the next, 2 hours, we had cops in and out.
Yeah, it was pretty much for several hours that day, in and out. And then people came in just to check out who we were.
So what ended up being the deal? I mean, have we found out anything? Do we know?
From what I'm told, it's been run up to the initial state police officer I talked to was actually on the county counterterrorism task force. And he said a lot of things about sovereign citizens and things like that. And I don't know if anybody knows what the sovereign citizen movement is, but it's an extreme far-right movement that basically believes that if they don't take part in society, they don't have to follow society's rules. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to pass background checks. They don't need a driver's license, all these things.
And they don't need firearms then either, and they don't need to vote. And
yeah. Well, they think if they don't take part in society, they don't vote, they don't do anything, they don't consent to be governed by the government, they don't have to participate in it.
Who do they think is plowing the roads?
That's unless you live in like the side of a mountain and never come down to town, you don't have an argument to be a sovereign citizen.
Right.
But you said he obviously had to have some kind of driver's license in order to go with the.
Well,
Interesting. The police were very interested in whether he had driven or not because his license was suspended.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you said the first time it was him who came in.
Yes, and we had pulled up camera footage later and found out that he actually got a ride to the shop.
Yep.
And came in, but he did have a driver's license. It was just I found out later was suspended by the state.
So yeah, I'm a sovereign citizen, but I don't need to have a driver's license, or I need a driver's license and everything else. But
but I don't know where the sovereign citizen thing came from. The state police officer I talked to kept using that term over and over again, and then when I kind of at the end of it said, "Where'd that come from?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about this guy. I haven't run his number yet," and like backed off of it really quickly. Which
So either he knows something or he was just preaching.
I think he was either. I think he knew something that he let stuff slip that he wasn't supposed to let slip.
are there a lot of sovereign citizens? I mean, is this something that?
I knew a good number of them out in Arizona. I haven't met any here.
Well, you just did.
Yeah, apparently I just did. But so I've been on the phone with a lot of law enforcement the last 2 days over this customer and his subsequent friend who tried to buy him a gun. And from what I understand, they probably got visited by the police either today or yesterday. So I don't think we'll be seeing them again. But it's something that, as I've been in the industry for long enough that I've seen things like this happen, and I really do try to qualify a customer before I sell a firearm. Not to say that it's my job.
First line of defense. If you think about it like that, we're the first line of defense in this.
Absolutely. It's not my job to enforce the law, but at the same time, it's not my job to arm criminals.
Right.
So if there's like something I can do, I'm going to do it.
Well, the ATF also kind of, at least when we got to talk, I mean, not that we were pressured, but they always make it a big deal. Like, you can say no. There's no reason,
Right.
and you should say no, even if you get a weird feeling. Like, they always said that.
You know, what's funny is legally, where's the law fall on that 80%ers then, Glenn?
80% lowers?
Yeah, could you buy one as a felon? Probably,
Yes,
I
you
mean,
can. The way the law
do a
stands
firearm?
with them is they can buy an 80% lower receiver. They legally cannot manufacture it into a firearm.
Right.
So that's why a lot of law enforcement's really kind of sketched out about the 80% market, and the way it's exploded in the last couple of years. It's kind of a slippery slope, and it's going to get to the point, I think, where if it gets popular enough, the ATF's either going to crack down on the market or they're going to reduce it to a 70% or 60%.
And just
I've heard talk of that before.
Yeah.
Reducing it. I mean, if they reduce it to 60 or 50%, who's to say even a forging is not that point?
There's some questions on gun channels if you guys wanted to answer them and stuff.
Dave asked, "Can you guys refuse to bad vibe?" And Robbie answered it. Yeah, we can refuse based on feeling. But really, the only thing we can't say is like, I can't sell to you because you're Mexican or something like that.
Yeah, I've trained salesmen a few times in the years past, and my thing has always been a hair standing up on the back of your neck is enough to refuse a sale.
Sure.
You have a bad vibe about the situation, refuse a sale. I'd rather not make a sale than be on the news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we look back at the West Webster shooting, and that turned out to be a straw purchase anyways.
Mm-hmm. And I've been doing this long. I've denied sales for jokes, and what I probably knew was a joke. Have a customer buying a firearm, and they go, "Oh, if my wife finds out how much this costs, I'm going to have to use it on her." Done right there, not selling the firearm. And they go, "Oh, it was just a joke. I'm just kidding around." Like, and I go, "I don't know. Like, you're probably joking, but I don't want to be the guy who sold you a gun and then watches the news on Friday night and sees you shot your wife."
Right.
I'm not going to put myself in that boat, and then the cops are going to be like, well, did he say anything? I'm like, oh, he made a joke about shooting his wife.
Right.
And they're like, well, he shot his wife, and then I have to live with that. So I'd rather not be in that situation. Firearms are serious. Take it seriously.
Leah, explain what you just said on gun channels there.
We have, I mean, I work for a big company, and honestly, like any big company, we do and do not do a lot of things because we don't want to get sued. But, and I think you can kind of back me up on this, when they don't have a good feeling about someone, they deny him.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, like, we're going to get sued, this is a thing. If the feeling is weird. And, like, I feel like big corporations, that's where you have to worry about, you know.
Well, I mean, I guess I mean along the lines of the denied forever.
Oh,
You know?
we have a small crew.
Yeah.
Everyone knows when someone gets denied. It doesn't happen that often, so everyone knows who gets denied and when they get denied and why they got denied, and pretty much it's going to be hard to get a gun at that place from here on out.
And to kind of expand on that, I mean, Mike's been in the industry locally forever. I've been around forever. We know most of the people in the area. If we get the feeling that you're just going to go and try this down the street, we're going to call that shop and give them a heads up.
Oh, yeah.
I used to field calls from other shops all the time. Hey, we just denied this person because they're trying to buy it for their boyfriend, and this is what they're wearing, this is what they're trying to buy. 15 minutes later, they walk in the front door and go, I want that one. And you go, no, it's not happening. And they go, why? Because the other shop you just were at that told you you can't buy that because it's illegal just called me. It's still illegal here.
Yeah, I actually prefer, if I don't know the person, I prefer you or Andy to do the interaction a little bit, because I'm not necessarily as good at perceiving some of this. So it's, you know, and it's easy for you guys being worked on the retail side of it to read somebody, and Andy even being a fireman and seeing so many different types of people and being in the public sector, just being able to read somebody maybe better than I am. For me, I don't want the desire to make a sale to blind me making the wrong decision. So a lot of times if I don't know the person, I'll almost, you know, try in my best to have Glenn help them in the shop, just because it's you can read them much better, or something like that. You know, if I know who they are, they've obviously done business with me before, and it's almost like a vouch. If I've sold you guns, you know, you've passed some sort of check with me, you know.
I've had guys do that before. They'll come by and be like, hey, Glenn, can you go talk to this guy for 30 seconds? I feel like I've got a bad feeling about him. And I've walked over, talked to him, and be like, yep, no, don't sell this guy a gun.
I feel like we should, like, phone a friend and call Leah and say, here, talk to Leah, and Leah will be like, fuck out of here.
My favorite is denying people because they're drunk.
How about stoned? If I can smell you from the front of the store, you're not buying a gun. I don't care if it's a BB gun. I don't care what it is you want. You're not getting a firearm.
Yeah, especially if you fall asleep filling out the form.
Like,
that's actual thing that happens.
Yeah, that's not. It's scary to have to deny, though, a guy.
Especially for you, when you used to do a lower and you had to deny somebody.
Our shop wasn't set up the same. I was alone.
Yeah.
In a room. Shut up, Siri. Go home, Siri. You're fucking drunk. Okay. But yeah, no, normally I was alone when I did the checks and everything, and if I ever had that, it always made me a little awkward. I would always try and make sure that I would go downstairs for whatever reason. Oh, I have to go check something. I have to go get something, and make sure that one of the guys was there so nothing would happen. It's not a comfortable feeling.
I've had people come over the counter at me. I want my paperwork back. It's got my information on it. It's like, yeah, I had you fill this form out so I have your information.
Right.
I mean, there's probably 36 times that I've from 30 seconds of talking to the person, knew I wasn't going to sell them a gun, but still had them fill out a 4473. For two reasons. Now I have your name and address, so I don't have to sell it. So now I can like let other people know not to sell you a gun. And B, if you lied on that form, you just committed another crime, and I can report you to the police and hopefully get you scooped up before you do something stupid.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever felt threatened. And certainly not in our shop yet. I don't think in the old shop in Webster when we did retail there, I never felt it. Now, I don't want to get too far off track and into this tirade, but do you think the fact that we sell lowers, we have a less of a chance of somebody being irritated because they couldn't versus when we start selling handguns?
Handguns are actually not a problem in New York because of our permit process.
Okay.
Basically, you almost have a pre-clearance with the permit process. I've never had this problem with a handgun.
So you think maybe like cheapy shotguns or something?
Absolutely, the products that we don't carry in our shop are the problem. The $250 home defense shotgun.
I can tell you right now, those are the problem.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. It is the cheapy shotgun and the extremely budget AR-15, the $600 Bushmaster, the $220 Stevens 320.
So being that we're a little bit of a higher end shop, sort of,
being a smaller shop helps because you have to interact with staff as soon as you walk in.
Actually, even Field and Stream, we sell cheap guns, but we don't sell the amount of cheap guns that other local places do, and we don't get as many shitty customers as other local places do.
To answer Dave's question about there being a database, I ask this to Glenn all the time, and him and I bitch about this all the time. There is no database, there's no website, there's no nothing that us as gun shop owners can pull up and Google them. Basically, there's nothing.
There's no communication. Like there's the only communication.
A no-fly list.
Yeah. There should be. I unfortunately I'm all pro 2A and pro everything, but the people that should have them should be known to all gun shops.
Yeah.
I wish there was almost like a call chain or something, like
every car lot in America can tell if I haven't paid my electric bill. There's no reason why there's no. Seems obvious.
Well, I mean, I was talking to Mike about this maybe a week or two ago. We were talking about the buying used firearms and the concern about possibly buying a stolen firearm.
Right.
In many other states, the police maintain a database of stolen firearms serial numbers. New York also maintains the same database. 25 years ago or so, pawn shops got together and said, New York, we would like access to this database so that if a gun comes through our front door, we can drop the serial number and make sure it's not stolen.
Oh, makes
New York
sense.
makes perfect sense. Many other states allow this to happen. Gun shops either have a phone number or a website they can go to where they can run a serial number to make sure it's not stolen.
Is it against the law for a third party to create this?
I don't know. There are some free websites but they require the owner to report their firearms stolen to the website. There's nothing that the police don't add anything to these websites. So if you just call the police, report your gun stolen, it won't get on these websites.
Hot Guns.
Yeah, Hot Guns is one of them with a Z. But New York's response to these pawn shops requesting access to the database to help the state do their job was to pass a law saying that pawn shops can no longer deal in used firearms.
Great.
That's ridiculous.
Thanks.
Instead of passing a law saying, we're going to make a website with a login so you can search serial numbers.
The state of Florida has a really nice website set up to check stolen.
Florida does, Arizona does.
And it's not just guns, it's stolen car parts and license plates and boats. Wow, way to go, Florida.
Yeah, many other states have this database, open access to either the public or at least registered users, such as gun shops or pawn shops. New York says, no, you can't have access, you just can't do that business anymore.
Yeah, not only is that ridiculous, but it would have been great information even for your local brick and mortar gun shops.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But that's the way this state works for some reason.
Yeah, so let's look into that. If it's not a legality issue, we may be able to have a third party create a website like that dealers can buy into as a service.
Well, I know there's a lot of free ones right now, but the problem is they just don't.
What's so funny?
Nothing. I can't say anything about it.
Yeah, I know what she's smirking about. But there's
Create a
some ones.
website.
They just don't have access to the police reports. And most people aren't going to go cruising around the internet and report to 10 sites.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, I mean, that's great discussion. I hope everybody out there listening, takes something out of this and can use it to their advantage. Or, if you guys have questions or want to start some more discussion, jump onto Facebook and search at the top Crash and Burn Listeners, and we can discuss them there as well. Let's move on to guns and gear, maybe a little lighter topic here, and see what everybody's got for guns and gear this week. So I'm going to throw it over to Andy. Andy, what do you got this week?
Swiss Army knives.
Are they still around?
Oh my God, they are so still around. The Boy Scouts have them. What's so funny?
They're still just the way you were so excited about that.
They are. Swiss Army knives are awesome. I would recommend two different ones. The first one is the Farmer. It's a silver one. I know most of them are red. You can see that. It's got a silver texture to it. This it doesn't have the toothpick mic, so you might not want this one. But this one,
that's gotta have a toothpick.
I know.
And a tweezer. I gotta have the tweezer.
Well, this one it's a really good. It's got a saw. It's got the best saw on any handheld knife I've ever seen. It's a 5-blade aluminum, very lightweight, thin, cool. But everyone has seen the giant. Let's see if I can get it up here. It's not really that big. There's much bigger ones. This is the Champ, the Swiss Champ. This has 33 different blades on it.
Jesus.
The classic red. I mean, it's got the.
Are they still pretty expensive?
This one's like $75. They're not too bad. It's got the magnifying glass on it. You can burn ants with it. Yeah, 33 different blades. But they have them now like with USB drives, flashlights, LEDs, anything you can think of. Their rescue tools, they've branched out to a lot more than just the 3 or 5 blade scout knives that they used to be. But if you ever see them in a garage sale, pick them up. They're very collectible. They're fun little knives. And good for kids.
Collectible is in worth money, like old school ones, or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Especially the old scout knives from Victorinox.
Oh, yeah. Still have a compass in them?
They do. Some of them have compass. This one doesn't, but some of them do have compasses. I like the ones with a built-in light and the USB. Those are very useful, I think.
Yeah,
Especially
the USB.
in today's world.
How long have they been doing that for a while, or?
Yeah, probably a few years.
That's cool.
Yeah, Knife Center's got a ton of different ones.
Nice. Glenn or Leah, you guys got any gear for guns or gear this week?
Okay.
No. No, I got nothing. I'm gearless.
Gearless this week?
Yeah.
Man, find something, Leah.
I have some new books. Do you want to talk about my books?
No.
Well, okay then.
So I have.
Oh, I do have something. Get out of my way. I gotta remember where I put it.
While she goes and finds that, I have a super, super sweet new holster.
Look at that.
A certain someone special made for me.
Oh.
Oh, Leah.
Oh.
No,
To make them a
so
holster.
I got from, was it Tactical Innovations, Andy?
Yeah, Tactical Innovations. Don't give
Tactical
it a secret. It's a secret.
Sells printed Kydex for really, what I thought was really inexpensively. It was like $16-17 with shipping for the piece of printed Kydex and a piece of black Kydex to go on the back of it. So I thought that was pretty cheap, actually.
Why has it got to be black?
Because it was $2.
Why has it got to be cheap and black?
But I got a super cool piece of mustard yellow Kydex with like a battle-worn Gadsden flag printed on it. So it's
Man, you're such a sovereign citizen.
yeah, they would be very proud of me. But then Andy made me have a sweet outside the waistband holster for my 1911, which surprisingly this is the first outside the waistband holster I've ever had. Because I've been concealed carrying for the entire time I've had handguns, so I've always had inside the waistband holsters.
I remember my first OWB.
It's so much more comfortable outside the waistband. I've been carrying inside the waistband for 5, 6 years, 7 years now. This is the first outside the waistband because I've been open carrying at the shop now, which is the only place in New York State you can open carry as the employee of a gun shop in a gun shop, which is strange. But it's awesome holster, and Andy made it so that if the safety's off and I put it in the holster, the safety goes back on, which is awesome.
That is nifty.
So he does great work, and the Kydex was super cheap, so I'm excited about it. And it's bright yellow.
It looks good in the store when you're walking in the store.
Yeah, it's not a great. I wouldn't wear it for concealed. It's bright yellow. If it sticks out of the bottom of your coat, it's going to be obvious. But it's great for in the store and all that, and to kind of show it off. What do you got, Leah?
So,
What the fuck was that?
as we've previously talked about, I work at a sporting goods store, and part of that is that we get to test out really cool stuff and then sell it to the public. And I was recently the recipient of, Andy, you probably have one of these, a Sawyer Mini filter.
Is that like what we did with the suck off?
Yeah, kind of, except this is an interesting system. So it comes with a bag. It's just like a plastic bag. And you fill the plastic bag with whatever your water is, your dirty water. And then this little fella here is the filter. And inside of here, there's like all these little, like, they kind of just look like coffee filters, honestly. And this system...
They're better than coffee filters.
No, they're better than coffee filters, but that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know what this is for. And you fill this with water, and then you squeeze or suck the water through the filter, and it becomes clean. And this is cool because this system works so that you can... Oh, that's what this is for. You can attach it... Oh, maybe not. I don't really know. You can attach it to a Camelback.
You need an adapter for that.
And fill, not for the mini, only for the big one.
Oh, really?
And
I
you can
have
fill your
the big
Camelback with dirty water and attach the hose to this and suck out of this, and your water will be clean.
Is it hard to suck through?
Huh?
Is it hard to suck through?
No. No, these actually, a lot of these work, I don't know if this one is one of them, but they work with gravity.
I don't know.
You can put it, you can basically hang it, and it'll just flow right out of here.
It'll drip through.
Wow.
Who do you think's a better sucker, you or Glenn?
I hope she is.
I think Glenn is.
Look at that face Leah's giving.
I probably am, but I hope she is.
That is the end of Leah's Guns and Gear.
What about your little syringe?
Oh, and they last for like
10,000 gallons.
10,000 gallons of water, which is an insane amount of water. And if they start to get plugged up, you just backwash it with this little plunger fella.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's actually really gross because all the gross things that have been filtered out of your water come out at one time.
Oh.
So yeah, that's my gear. And the nice lady that gave me this made it seem like it worked really well. And I trust that it does because Sawyer makes really good products. So
I have the bigger version that I use when I'm hiking. That works really well.
That's what I got. They make really nice bug spray and sunscreen too. The bug spray, they make like a lotion out of the bug spray, so you don't have to like spray bug spray, which is really nice. It's a cool company.
On my lap in here. There you go.
I'm a fan of the baby wipes now for bug spray. Instead of spray, just
What?
baby wipe it. Yeah. They have baby wipe bug sprays.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Bug wipe.
I've got some cool gear for tonight. It's actually from one of our new sponsors. I've got this right here. It is a bug out bag from Broken Angel Gear.
Bob.
Bob.
I really like the color of that bag.
It's so compact and tiny.
It is. This is a full 24-hour kit in this small ass bag. Basically, you get with it the Red Rock Outdoors sling pack, and you can get it in multiple colors. Comes with an emergency blanket, 25 feet of 550 paracord, duct tape, SOG folding traction knife, Nalgene bottle, Ola Camp Space Saver steel cup, UST blast match, fire starter tabs, medical first aid kit for one of the adventure medical ones, Aquamira 2-bottle water purification system, 6 servings of Wise food meals, 3-function emergency whistle, signal mirror, and a fishing kit. So
For like a 72-hour bag.
yeah, you get a lot of stuff with it, and all together with the bag, ready to go to throw in a car or something. $175. It's really,
That's not
really
bad.
not too bad at all.
Yeah, that's loaded. That's nice.
Yeah, and actually, we're part of the reason I have this is we're his first retailer, and so we've got a bunch of these in the shop. So I grabbed one to talk about it, and he was generous enough to become one of our sponsors for this month. I really dig it. I would have bought the one, but Dirty Dan bought the color I wanted, so hopefully he'll replace it, and then I'll just buy it.
The like pre-made bug out bag market is. It seems like it's either one of two extremes. It's so cheap the stuff is worthless, or it's so expensive it's unreachable. And he kind of hit the mark right in the middle, where it's. I mean, it's not an inexpensive product, but it's worthwhile, and it's actually going to save your ass instead of some of this stuff which is just going to get you killed. I've seen bug out bags at some of the big box stores for like $60 that literally could get you killed if you tried to use them.
Yeah, I think you did a good job putting that kit together. 175 seems like a lot, but when you really go through everything that's in it, there's a lot of stuff in there for that kind of money.
Oh my God, medic kit alone. I mean, you're paying $100 for those sometimes. I mean, this has everything in it with 6 days of food or 6 meals of food in there too. It's crazy. It's an awesome deal.
The bags are really nice.
Yeah, the bag is probably $60+ already.
At least I've had two Red Rock bags for like 6 years, and they're absolutely one of my favorite bags. I have a red one. You guys have seen my red Rock, and I've also got a sling pack just like this.
It's pronounced Red Rocket.
Red Rocket. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So that's my gear for this week. I haven't had something for gear in a while. So, Erica, anything?
I was going to have something, and I tried to talk to you about it before the show went live, and you literally got up and walked away.
I don't remember that at all.
Andy, do you remember that?
What?
What?
I'm just reading what? What happened?
Remember before the show went live, and I was talking to Mike about something that I was thinking about having for Guns and Gear, and he literally got up and walked away. Andy,
Yes.
lie. Thank you.
Yes. No. Michael, you walked away.
So, yeah.
What was it now?
I've had a lot of my friends and other women ask me about concealed carry, so I was going to talk about my SIG. I know that it's nothing special, and it's not like it's a new pistol that came out or anything, but a lot of close friends and a lot of women asked me how I conceal carry and what my choice was.
Well, why don't you do a little? Why don't you put together some information for next week and do a whole concealed carry for women? I think that would be a great segment you could do.
Okay.
I love it.
under ramblings.
I'll do that, and
Yeah,
I'll
that way you got
grab
some
the
time.
shield
You got
and
some
stuff
time to
too.
think about it. You got the shield. You got the 238. You could do some research on holsters. Um, I think you could talk about the one that Bob Cutt made you.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a good whole segment. So I'm going to jump over and thank our sponsors again. So thank you, Broken Angel Gear. Obviously, you just saw us. It was great gear. Foxden Tactical. You can make some get some paracord slings for ARs. We're running one at the shop. Clean Snatch Soap and Firearms Training of Western New York. And to take a sidebar, Jim from Firearms Training of Western New York, if you're in the Western New York area, not this weekend, but the weekend after, he's doing a few multi-state classes out in Western New York. So I'll post the link on the Crash and Burn Facebook page if you guys are interested. So I got to pee, so I'm going to throw it over to Glenn because we know Glenn's can talk a lot. So Glenn, for Guns Tonight, you're going to talk about some reloading, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had a couple people message me on Facebook, message the site, asking about reloading, getting into reloading, why to get into it, how to get into it, that kind of stuff. A lot of people I've reloaded for a few years now. I know Andy reloads. A lot of people, the first thing they say to me is, I'm going to start reloading to save money. Wrong. Your ammunition will be cheaper, but you're not going to save any money. Best case scenario is you break even and you end up shooting more ammo or better quality ammo for the same amount of money. It is a good chunk of change to get involved into it, especially if you want to get into like the precision reloading, which I won't really get into tonight because that could do a whole 3-hour show on just that.
Oh boy.
It would be super boring. But if your goal in reloading is to save money, that's probably not going to happen. For you to actually save money, you got to shoot thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds of ammunition, and it's going to take you months to years to see any actual savings of money after you put all the money up to get into reloading. And especially if you factor in the time that you take to actually reload the ammunition, you're just not going to save any money. What happens when you reload is you end up shooting better quality ammunition for less money. So instead of buying Remington UMC bulk target ammo, you'd be shooting ammo that's quality, Black Hills quality level ammo for the cost of Remington UMC. So you got to think about it more about improving the quality of your ammo than actually saving money. Yes, the guys that shoot competition and are shooting 1,000 rounds a week probably save money reloading. I don't shoot that much. I don't know very many people that do. Even those guys probably didn't save any money for a couple of years because of how much money they had to put up to actually get into the reloading. I was looking up a few things. Lee Precision is a great company to start with for bargain, less expensive reloading gear. Their all-together kit to start is everything you need except for reloading dies. It's like $185. A set of dies is like $25 to $45 depending on what caliber you're looking at. So you're looking at least $200 right there before you even buy powder, brass, primers, and projectiles. So you're looking
Bullets.
Bullets, yes. Actual bullets, not rounds. But Lee Precision's a great company to look at for starter grade equipment. I started out on Lee Precision stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, pretty much everybody I've known that's into reloading has started with Lee Precision stuff. The presses are good. The dies are okay. It's not going to make the best ammunition in the world, but it gets you into the game for a lot less money, and it gets you kind of understanding the principles of reloading. And speaking of, the best book you can buy to start reloading is this book right here called The ABCs of Reloading. It's basically a dummies for reloading book. It's written by Bill Chevalier. That's how you say that. But it is. You can get it on Barnes & Noble's website. I actually got this in a local Barnes & Noble 5 years ago. I'm
YouTube certified on reloading.
YouTube's pretty good, but if you want a book, it goes literally from bargain basement reloading all the way up.
It's published by Gun Digest.
I actually have an RCBS press that I've never even taken out of the box.
I don't know if you can see behind me. If Leah can, you probably can't see it, but I have two RBS presses, RCBS presses mounted on the bench behind us. I have a single stage rock chucker and a turret press. For starting out, the single stage press is all you need. It's not going to be the fastest way to reload, but it's going to be reliable. It's going to be good and solid. It's not going to be too complicated. If you're in an apartment or you don't have a big workbench or something like that, Lee makes this really cool thing that I started out with called the hand press. You can do everything except for sizing like big Magnum rifle cartridges or like sizing military brass in your lap, basically. And it's a little bit less expensive than a press, and it doesn't take up a bunch of space. So if you're in an apartment or you don't have space to set it up, you can put it in a shoebox in the closet, and you can actually set it up for cheap.
And it looks like an alligator.
But the most important thing with reloading is to get a good reloading manual. And I found the ones that are made by the bullet makers are the most accurate because the bullets really change the powder loads. So either ones made by the bullet maker or the powder maker are best. So if you're going to shoot Sierra bullets, the Sierra reloading book is good. If you're going to shoot Barnes bullets, their book is good. So getting into it, you're looking at probably close to $300 before you really can even start to reload your first round. You can see Andy rummaging around back there. It's like I said, you're not going to save money really. I don't reload handgun because I can't reload handgun in enough quantity to make it worth my time. I reload rifle because I can get high quality, like match grade ammunition for the cost of cheap bulk ammo. So I reload for my 308s and stuff like that, but I don't reload any handgun. I have reloaded handgun in the past, but I shoot 9mm, and 9mm ammo is cheap enough right now that I don't have to. Shotgun reloading is a completely different set of skills and equipment. So if you think you're going to buy a press and reload your 308 and your shotgun 12 gauge, it's a completely different thing. Shotgun ammo is so cheap that I know guys that used to reload 10,000 rounds a year of shotgun, and they don't even reload anymore because shotgun ammo is so cheap right now.
Yeah, I started reloading my 45 long Colt because I couldn't find it. I mean, that's one reason to reload is when it does get rare, at least you have the capabilities of doing it, and you can reload your own stuff. Yeah, as far as cost, I shoot 45 long Colt a little bit. I shoot a lot of 9mm. Like you said, it's cost effective not to even do it for me for the time. And 223, which I haven't gotten into loading any of that. I probably should. I just haven't bought the stuff for that.
223 is so cheap right now.
But it's not. 223 is expensive right now.
You're talking.
Yeah, but eventually you run out of press. How many? Glenn, I don't know if I missed it, but did you talk about how many times you can reload before it's trash?
Not yet. So brass is the only reusable part. Obviously, the bullet goes down range, the powder burns up, and the primer is used up. So brass is the only thing that's reusable. Depending on the caliber and how hot your loads, how hot, when you say how hot, it's basically how much powder do you put in. The big magnums, your 300 Magnum, your 338 Lapuas and stuff like that are harder on the brass. So you can, some of those, if you really push your loads, you can only get 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 loadings out of them. In 308, I shoot relatively moderate loads. I don't push the brass very hard. I can get upwards of 6, 7 reloadings out of a single piece of brass. Yeah. I know guys who have fired like low pressure, like 30-30. They'll reload the brass 15 times before they throw it out.
How does one determine when to do it?
There's a couple ways to know. If you look at a piece of brass, right at the base, of most modern brass, you have the rim, or you have the actual groove the extractor grabs onto, and then right above that you have the part of the brass called the web, which is kind of a thicker part of brass, and then you get into the actual body of brass. Right where the web transitions into the body of brass is where the brass starts to stretch. And you can actually, in like 300 Magnum, even in factory ammunition, you can look at the brass under like a bright light, and you can see. Leah got me a little tiny 223 round, so I'm gonna have to hold it up to the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't have anything bigger just sitting on the bench behind us.
There's tons of bigger stuff over there. So you got your rim, and then right in front of your rim is your web. And then in front of that is where the actual body is. You'll start to see stretch marks right there. And it's kind of a rule of thumb thing. If you're shooting like a big heavy Magnum, you kind of want to watch that. If you're shooting a little 223 or a 308, you can be a little bit more forgiving of that. But as you see that stretch, you kind of have to watch it. Because what will happen is you'll have what they call case head separation, where the base of your brass actually will come apart in the chamber of your rifle, which is obviously not a good thing. But really, you just got to watch your brass and learn it.
Is that more in like a semi-auto cartridge, or when you're precision loading for long distance, do you get more or less out of precision loading?
In semi-autos, you don't really get much more wear and tear on the base of the brass. You get more wear and tear on the neck where the bullet goes, because it's usually banged against the receiver during ejection.
Okay.
M1 Garands are notorious for just destroying brass and tearing it up and denting it and that kind of stuff.
Right.
The other thing with semi-autos is you usually have to size the brass all the way to the base so that it feeds reliably, which the more work you do to the brass, the shorter lifespan it has. That's why a lot of people prefer the Lake City brass, which anybody in the reloading community knows that the military uses Lake City brass, which is thicker than commercial brass, so it lasts a lot longer.
How's brass made?
It is made through a series of extrusions and stampings. Hornady actually has a really good video on YouTube showing the entire process of how their brass and their bullets are made. If you're interested in that, you can search up their YouTube page. They have a really good video that shows the entire process of bullet and brass manufacture.
Why does the military use that brass, since the military doesn't reload?
The military uses thicker brass because they assume it's going to be handled more roughly. The military also, what you don't see on commercial ammunition is you'll see a sealant around the base of the bullet and around the primer to keep moisture out, because they're going to store their ammunition in the jungle for 6 months at a time, and they want it to still work at the end. They overbuild the entire thing so that it's functional.
Is there any less of a shelf life when you reload versus buying off-the-shelf ammo?
If it's properly reloaded, it should be just as storable and reliable as your standard commercial ammunition. You store it in a cool, dry place, it'll be good for a couple dozen years. It's just the same as if you bought Federal or Winchester or anything else.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's absolutely a bad idea to reload any defensive round. You should use factory-made ammo that's under the better quality control. Am I right?
I would never personally use a reloaded defensive round for a couple of reasons. If you get online, you'll see the argument that the lawyer will use it against you, and honestly, these days it seems like they are doing that. You made a more deadly round argument, which is not really the reason I don't. But the same thing you said with the quality control. Most defensive ammunition is made to a much higher quality control spec than your bulk target ammunition. That being said, you should still inspect it, make sure your primers aren't in backwards, make sure bullets aren't in backwards, that kind of thing. I've seen all those things. But just it is a higher quality control. Generally, from the reliability of reloaded ammo relies on the reloader. Some people are better at it than other people. Definitely, I would never shoot anybody else's reloads unless it's in their gun.
Yeah. Andy, what are your thoughts on defensive rounds reloaded versus new?
I don't know. I mean, people reload their precision because it's more accurate. Why wouldn't you do your own defensive round if it's more accurate?
Because I don't reload for handgun already.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see a problem with it.
There's also a lot of defensive bullets that are not available for reloaders. Like, you can't buy a Spear Gold Dot bullet to reload. At least not easily. You can buy like the Hornady XTP, which is the bullet they use in their critical defense line, but a lot of Federal will not sell Federal Hydroshock bullets for you to reload. So there's a lot of that too.
That's good information. We actually had one of our listeners ask in the Crash and Burn Facebook group about reloading. So I think you touched on pretty much everything that he was asking about.
Yeah. And if anybody has any other questions or they're trying to get into reloading, they can always message me on Facebook or shoot me an email. I've been doing it long enough. Wouldn't call myself a super expert at it. There are guys that reloading is almost more of a hobby than shooting is for them.
Here, I'll show you. Now you see me?
But
No, you don't.
What is that?
It was
That
legal.
was,
A creepy pop-up ad on Leah's page.
yeah, I apologize. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a super expert, but I've been doing it long enough that I can give some advice on how to get into it and how to get started.
Cool. Well, yeah, so anybody interested, drop us a line on the Crash and Burn Facebook group so we can get some group information on it, and I think it'll be cool. So with that said, let's move right along to this week's segment for Leah. Last week we did Leah Raps, which was a great segment, and as always. So let's get right moving along to this week's segment, and we switch it up with Urban Dictionary readings by Leah. So Leah, I added the link for your Urban Dictionary reading of the week.
I saw it, but did you read that this term has 5 pages of definitions?
What are you talking about?
Oh, there's a bunch of definitions.
Yeah,
you want just the one at the very
down.
top?
Oh, I just want
Just
the one
keep
at the top.
scrolling.
Abe motherfucking Lincoln and fuck her right in the pussy.
All right, Leah. Let's hear this first. The top definition for Abe
Oh, you
Lincoln.
buy a mug with this lovely. All right. Well, an Abe Lincoln is what this seems.
Creepy?
Yeah. When an unconscious person gets jizzed on their face, gets their pubes cut and applied to their face to form a beard, then adorned with a top hat.
Yeah.
Did you use it in their sentence?
The last time a gang of transsexuals Abe Lincolned Stump, he was picking various shapes of pubes from his teeth for a week.
How about wait? How about a bearded dragon?
Did you read the second description? The second definition?
Just read the second one. That's awful.
The second
Oh my
one's
gosh.
It's super racisty.
Yeah. Oh, a large jump on their head to reveal the form of a top hat. Rub out a good one and shoot her in the back of the head, just like Abe Lincoln.
Oh.
that. Oh, that's good. That's
it's not.
next week we'll have a rap song. In case this was too much for you. So, all right,
Look
cool.
up racist real quick.
Moving.
If you go to the Urban Dictionary page, you get racist real quick.
Yeah, it does. So, that's a great segue to Leah's news post of the week. So, why don't you talk to us about your news post?
So I'm sure a lot of you saw a guy in Japan made himself a robot that looks just like Scarlett Johansson.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's been in the news. It's
No.
newsworthy. Okay, well look it up. It's creepy as all hell. It's real creepy. But so it coincided with a study that they are doing at Stanford University, which is a respected institution of learning and research. And I would just like to remind the world that cancer still exists, because these researchers proved that human beings get aroused when they touch robots' private parts.
Who knew robots had private parts to touch?
They basically built this
Which one's her
adorable
private?
robot.
Oh my God! It looks exactly like Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, except she moves.
Right?
But she just winked at me.
Yeah, it's creepy. But so these researchers basically got a bunch of people and hooked them up to monitors. They hooked them up to where the verbiage is much better in the subjects were outfitted with a sensor on their non-dominant hand that measured skin conductance. And when they used their dominant hand to touch the butt or the eyes of the robot, they were able
touch the butt.
to be figured out through things like your blood pressure and your heart rate when you're aroused. And touching robot butts arouses people. The only person in the study that wasn't aroused by touching robot butts refused to touch the robot because they were uncomfortable touching robot butts. So, go humanity. So yeah, that is my news. We are all fucked.
I saw some Japanese video of a dude that was like, you saw it. Remember I showed it to you off Facebook? It's like that Japanese guy that...
It was hilarious because the music that they put to it.
It was like a simulation thing.
He was in this weird suit. Like this huge white like jumpsuit getup. And then wasn't it just like...
I don't know, I'm searching for some really weird shit right now and it's...
Michael, what the hell?
Yeah, it's hard to find exactly what it was. And I don't even know who shared it.
Probably Alex.
Yeah, I think yeah.
That's fucking creepy.
Right?
The Scarlett Johansson robot is creepy.
Reality? There it is. Oh, Playboy.
Playboy shared
Playboy
it.
shared it. There you go.
All right, I'm going to play this for you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Where is it going to take us?
Nowhere good.
No. You gotta watch the video.
It's the music that really makes it, though. Like if it's the video that you showed me, it's
gotta be this one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna share this, guys. So take a look at this. Share my screen. All right, can you guys see this?
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
彼女を思うとこの胸騒ぐ会いたい気持ちが彼女を思うと体温が上がる恋しい気持ち彼女の笑顔は100億ボルト瞳見たまま
Oh,
Should I have done this under Tech Corner?
I mean, that's what virtual reality is going to be. Like, if anybody thought that it wasn't going to be that, they're just lying to themselves.
Of course it's going that direction.
Everything else has porn in it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's
I'm gonna
good.
put my Google Cardboard on right now.
Right?
Can I download that somewhere?
You probably could. We could probably build it with an Arduino or something.
So gross.
All right, Andy. Medical prepping. What do you got?
A little Raspberry Pi. Fire. Mike, do you like fire?
I do.
What do you use for fire?
A Zippo.
Cool. Yeah, I got my Zippo. I actually got my All-Star Zippo here.
Nice.
Camping wise, I think most people just bring a butane lighter now. It's the easiest thing to do. But it's, the butane, the Bic lighters.
The little torchy ones.
The Bics. Flick a Bic. I don't have a Bic here, but I would say that is the most popular, most used, easiest used now for camping or prepping, survival, whatever. It's not. They're not reusable. They do have some refillable butane lighters, but the Bics that you get, they're one-time use. It's out. It's done. No more using it. Glenn, what do you like to bring camping to start fires? Look out, Leah. Ferro rod, yeah.
Ferro rod. I prefer ferro rod to anything because it works wet.
Do you have? Is it just the rod and a steel, or which one do you have?
This one has a rod and a scraper.
Yeah.
But I also carry some tinder starting equipment with me. I carry some fat wood.
Yep.
Which is basically the joints of pine trees and the roots of pine trees that have extra resin in them.
Yeah, natural, all natural. It can be found out in the wild.
Yeah.
I have some here. It's not the fat wood, but this is the store-bought manufactured fat wood. Basically, it's just sawdust and wax compressed. 12 sticks cost like $2. I mean, the stuff's really cheap. You take one stick and you break them up. Great little piece where it'll burn anything.
The other thing I found that's really, really handy is Zippo actually makes in their like survival line. They make these. It's basically a cotton ball that they've dipped in wax. And you can break it. It burns for like.
Why wax? What does the wax do?
It burns at a higher temperature than the cotton ball.
And does it slow it down?
Yeah, it slows it down. It's basically like a little candle.
Yeah,
it's a little stick.
Okay.
It's a little stick of cotton with wax around the outside of it, and you break it open and fluff the cotton up in the middle, spark it, and then it'll start, and it'll burn for like 2 or 3 minutes, which is plenty.
Yeah, the wax slows the burn down. What's that, Mike?
Use that to start like your next level, your tinder, before you go up to like a long.
Tinder to kindling to fuel.
What I got here, if you have like a little mint container, go to your dryer, get some lint, mix it with some petroleum jelly or Vaseline, make a little ball out of it, and put a couple matches in there, close it up, preferably some waterproof matches. Close that up, and this thing will last forever, and just throw it in one of your bags. It's the same thing as the store-bought ones, but you can make them just out of lint and some petroleum jelly.
How do you know what to put on it after that?
What does that mean?
Like, what do you put next?
You light the ball on fire, and then you put some little sticks, and then you put the ball of fire under it. Unless you're like Bear. Bear lights the top of the fire. My son, my 8-year-old.
What if the sticks are wet?
Start with the driest sticks you can find that are smaller than your pinky. That's your next step.
What if I'm
And
in a
then-
rainstorm?
You can still find dry wood in a
Yeah,
rainstorm.
you can still
underneath
find
the
it.
pine tree. There's plenty of places to find dry stuff. So you start smaller than your pinky, then you go to the size of your thumb, and then you go to your size of your wrist, and then you go larger.
That's good to know for surviving.
But there's tons of different, like Glenn's ferro rod. I have this one. I don't know who made this one.
Is that the blast match?
Yeah, UST. It's kind of cool. You just squeeze it, and then you put your tinder on the bottom or your cotton ball, whatever you're going to use, and you squeeze it and push down. It's burning. That's pretty cool, though. But it's all built-in unit. So it's kind of small, compact.
It's like a little built like all-in-one ferro rod.
Yeah. My
What
favorite
do they
is
cost?
they're cheap. They're like $6, something like that. My favorite is a ferro rod with a magnesium block. You're talking about when it's wet. Take the magnesium, take your knife, and just start chipping off some of the magnesium. And then when you hit the spark on the ferro, it lights the magnesium and it burns at a really, really hot temperature and gets your kindling going.
You know what's really nice for those? Take a section of an old like hacksaw blade, like a 2-inch section, and break it off. That scrapes up the magnesium really, really well, better than your knife does. You can just like electrical tape it to it, and you get like really good shavings off the magnesium with that.
But I got my cool saw from my Swiss Army knife.
You can use that too. Problem is, if you use your knife, you dull your
Sometime.
hacksaw blade.
Yeah, so we're taking Mike out in the woods, and he's going to start a fire with a ferro
I know. I
rod.
want to start a fire. Can we do it in my backyard in case I get scared and I want to go sleep in bed?
No, we're going to my brother's farm, and we're going to go out there and build some fires.
Or bushcraft it.
It feels rapey.
It's not rapey at all. You'll be a better man afterwards.
Okay. All right. As long as I'm going to be better afterwards.
All right, so fire's good.
Anything else you can add to the fire? Fire's good.
Fire's good. Just don't do it in your house. You can also make char cloth. I forgot about char cloth, but that's a pain in the ass to make.
It is a pain. If it gets wet, it disappears.
What is that?
You take some cotton and you start it on fire, and then you deprive it of oxygen, basically, and it changes the chemical of the cotton into this.
Basically charcoal.
Yeah, it's like charcoal. So just a little spark on it will get it going again.
Yep. Or you can make
okay.
super old school actual matches, which are sulfur dipped on little like pieces of wood. Then you dip them in sulfur, and a spark will start that on fire. That's where the term match actually comes from. But you have to spark it with.
So having other than the flints and the stones, you can create sparks. Is it good for people to have like waterproof matches and a Zippo and all of this as backup?
I usually have a Zippo and a waterproof match as a backup, but I practice with my ferro rod because that's the tried and true. If it gets soaked, you soak a Bic, it doesn't work anymore until you can dry it out. So I usually have 2 or 3 ways to start a fire.
Cool. Anything else you want to add about fire, Andy?
That's it.
Cool. I'm going to take another moment to thank our sponsors for this month. Firearms Training of Western New York, Clean Snatch Soap. I'm actually on Clean Snatch's website right now buying a couple bars of soap because we ran out. He's got a soap for ink for tattoos and stuff that's actually excellent. So I'm jumping on there to grab some stuff.
Does he have
to
the
restock?
little soap on there?
No, I don't think that's on there. I think he sent that special for us.
Oh, that was pretty awesome.
That thing was. Yeah.
What'd you get?
We got an R2D2 shaped soap and a little Han Solo carbonite soap.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. But yeah, so Clean Snatch, check them out. Broken Angel Gear, we already went over their products. Great stuff. And Fox Den Tactical. Eric was actually on the show when I was out in Phoenix. We looked over a bunch of his slings. We've got one on the MP5 at the shop, so good stuff. Glenn, you got a news topic tonight, or you want me to skip over that? We'll go to Tech Corner.
Skip right over that.
Cool. So, quick Tech Corner tonight. There's everybody's talking about self-driving cars and all this. So Toyota's jumping onto it, but taking a little bit different approach. They're doing a hybridized self-driving, and basically. Their point of attack on this is coming in the with research that suggests drivers takes about 8 seconds to readjust and gain control of a formerly fully autonomous vehicle. So, for instance, the Teslas and the Google cars, all these cars that are going to be fully autonomous, their research suggests that it would take you about 8 seconds to regain control. So basically, they've come out with their system called the Guardian Angel, alleviate this disconnect by activating only to avoid a collision, similar to your automatic braking and everything else, which I think is a cool idea. Maybe we do need a little bit of a hybridized system before going into the full Skynet of cars. But for me, I think for such a large vehicle manufacturer to be involved in it, I think at least is pushing us in the right direction. What do you guys think?
I can't wait tonight.
Well, I was really excited.
I can't wait tonight.
I was excited to see that Tesla came out with their more, I guess, economical version, or one that everybody.
The Model 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go put $1,000 on it right now.
Yeah, I was really excited. I was kind of like.
You could have
$35,000 for the car.
You could have yours.
Apparently, they pre-ordered like 120,000 of them.
Yeah.
So it was one of the. They were very surprised at how well it did right away. I saw friends of mine.
320.
That's the total number right now.
325.
Yeah.
They said that don't they all come with ludicrous speed or something? And
Ludicrous mode.
And they all come with the self-driving, like you don't have to like upgrade.
The supercharger.
You know how ludicrous it is, right? Push the button and it goes, "Move, bitch, get out the way."
Yeah, so Tesla's looking at making $14.5 billion off of this one car.
Yeah, but it's going to shot put them into that into the more mainstream car market, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, before, like the Tesla Model S and all those were $100,000, so they were out of the reach of even the upper middle class.
I see a lot of them though.
I do see a lot around here, but I think Rochester's got a lot of old money, and people buying them maybe instead of a Maserati or something because they are quick.
Yeah, they got ludicrous speed.
Right. Move, bitch.
They were saying, I was reading a thing that their starting price is $35,000, and the average car sale in the U.S. is $33,000. So they're right in that kind of what most cars are selling for price range. Like just
sure. I mean, you go price out a Jeep Wrangler right now, and it's $40,000.
So what is Toyota gonna come out? Did they say a price range or anything?
No, this is a technology, which I think is just cool. It's very early. This is more on the level of the Google car and the stuff that's completely autonomous, like robot fucking cars.
Speaking of robots, hang on. Have you seen Bentley's new one?
No.
Bentley is putting a holographic butler in the back of theirs.
Ooh.
Graphic butt.
I want a holographic butler in the front to drive me so I can sit in the back.
No, I just want my car to go wherever it goes, and then I'll be with my butler in the back. I don't want my car to, like, the driver to talk to me. I want him to just drive.
I don't know, a little holographic butler with like a little cap and everything.
He looks like Max Headroom in the picture, though.
That would be awesome. Like you could update skins on your butler.
So it'll start. They'll start stuttering.
Yeah. Are people? Do you think enough people that watch our show are old enough to know Max Headroom?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So if you can update your skins, how long before you can download naked girl skins?
Oh yeah.
To have a naked girl come your eye?
It's like the second one that's available is probably that.
Hello, Mr. Centora.
I'm in. Let's do it. That's all I got. I think that's cool for tech this week. Obviously, the Tesla Model S and the Toyota is actually pretty cool news. If you guys ever have any questions about some tech and you want us to help you out, Andy and I are both huge tech guys as far as new technology and computers and video games and all that. So feel free to hit us up, ask questions on the Crash and Burn listeners Facebook group. Google it, or not Google it, search it at the top of Facebook and request to be added. We'll add you. It's a great group if you want to, take a little more part in the show. So, Andy, did you come up with a news topic at all? Are we glossing over that also?
Not really. I came across one thing. 1 in 3 Iraqis think that the U.S. is supporting ISIS. So 40% of the country thinks that we're supporting ISIS. I mean, that's what they think. Yeah. That just bothered me. Just for everything that we do, it's just...
They're special.
Pretty big number.
That's a huge number.
That's what
nuts.
most people think of us, though.
I wish I was surprised.
Yeah.
I really do. I really wish I was surprised, but I'm not.
In good news, Sweden has a new phone number that you can call and talk to a Swede about Sweden if you want.
That actually sounds like a really lovely way to spend the day.
Can we call right now?
I thought it was kind of cool. You can. This guy called because he had all this extra Google money in his Google Voice account. So he just talked to Swedes all day long. He said it's really enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. They're Swedish.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And every person there is named Mangus.
Magnuson.
Mangus.
Are we going to talk about Star Wars?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. God, Leah.
Sorry. You said you had no
Leah.
news. Like, this is big news.
No, but you skipped everybody's favorite segment of the week.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Go,
I
Ari.
can't believe that.
You know what really grinds my gears?
When people skip her segment.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, it's really not that big of a deal this week. I don't really have anything that grinds my gears. I mean, I do, but it's
you, Mike.
well, it's not just Mike.
You downloaded it too, so shut your face.
It's his stupid pick of movies. These are so great.
They're awesome.
No, they're not. They're awful. Literally, every time I let you control the remote and you're on Netflix and you're like, let's watch this one. It's got 2 stars on Netflix. I think it'll be great. No. We turn it off within 5 minutes.
Some of them are good. You don't like a lot of like rapey movies.
Oh, I wonder why. Yeah, I can turn on the news. That's called the news. News.
Yeah, but like I like those movies where like okay, yeah, you get over that something bad kicks ass for
Yeah,
the
but
rest of
it's
the
never
movie.
anything that happens bad to the main male character. It's always something to the woman, to the child, which I can.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh, I hate when you do that. Oh. So you have no attachment. You're like, fuck the wife. Look at how cool Vin Diesel looks as he kicks their ass. But this most recent one, I really don't understand. You love the movie Stealth.
It's fantastic.
And it's not just because like the chick is hot. You actually like the movie.
I do.
The plane with feelings.
Yeah.
Do you can you feel the plane's feelings and you can connect with the plane?
Glenn said that to me today at the shop. Yeah.
It's a horrible movie.
No.
Plane with feelings. It's awful.
You guys can't gang up on me. It's a good movie.
What percentage
I
do you
like
have?
it.
Rotten
I like
Tomatoes?
13.
13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
No.
You know what?
No, that's
You know how people
13%
have, we are the 99. Andy and I, we are the 13.
Yeah. That's what you guys are. Yep. So that's what. Yeah, your awful picks of movies. They have just been horrific lately. So
Wow.
stop it.
When people touch the butt of this plane, they get aroused.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because you're a robot one?
Would you touch the butt of the plane?
Would you touch the plane's butt?
Mike would definitely get aroused because he, like, you know.
I think it would be cool. I'd be like, yeah, plane. Is it a girl plane or a dude plane?
I thought it was a dude plane.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's a dude plane. It'd be kind of
You
weird.
touch the dude plane butt.
Yeah, you know, I would.
Maybe it's a dragon plane.
It's a dragon plane.
Maybe it identifies as a dragon plane.
It was an awful movie. It was just, yeah.
Well, it's we're gonna watch it on loop at the shop. They have it on DVD.
Yes, go watch it at the shop. I'm sorry, Glenn.
Man.
So that's what
Closing the door and the window to my shop, and I'm just hiding in there.
You know what really grinds my gears? Nobody's come up.
Oh, all right. Okay, so let's wrap the show up. But first, we are going to play this week's YouTube video. Is a little not special, but it's because it came out today. So if you haven't seen it yet, the brand new trailer for Star Wars came out called Rogue One. So I'm going to share it with you guys right now, and have a look.
State your name for the record.
Jin Ursa.
Forgery of imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
On your own from the age of 15. Reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined. This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel. We have a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
Dun 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 dun.
So, Mark, this past year.
This movie is so good it gives me Forrest Whitaker eye.
Hey, you want to hear my new ringtone?
Great.
That's my new ringtone. I love it.
I think this one looks
All
better
right.
than the one that just came out.
Glenn, explain it a little bit for our listeners. You explained it to me, and it was a good explanation of where this fits in the plot.
So, those of you familiar with Star Wars, this is the story of the group of people who stole the plans of the Death Star right before the very first movie came out. So, if you're familiar with New Hope, it opens up with Leia running away from the Star Destroyer because she just got the plans for the Death Star transmitted to her. This is the team that stole those plans and sent them to her. So this is right before that.
So is the bad guy
original
you see in this, is that actually a young Emperor Palpatine we saw?
No, it's supposed to.
Or a younger of that one of those admirals.
Well, Disney said that they're not going to cross over any characters because they don't want to like mix anything up.
Okay.
But then in the preview, they show Mon Mothma, who's in the original movies.
Right.
The lady in the preview who's like talking to her about being a rebel, that's Mon Mothma, who's in a couple of the original movies, and she's like the leader of the rebellion. But this is supposed to be kind of like a fill in the gap kind of story.
Yeah, well, it looks like a great story. I mean, I'm excited.
I had chills watching that. That was great.
Yeah.
It looks more. I think it looks better than the one that just came out. It's more that style. I'm excited to see who the bad guy is. Because they show him in a
Yeah, now they're doing the full trilogy, right? 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, so they said they're going to do a full 7, 8, and 9, and then they've got between 2 and like 5 what they're calling spin-off ones, which won't cross over but take place in the same universe and kind of fill in the backstory.
Which is awesome. I think that's something that should have been done all along. This is actually pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I think. So it looks like they're planning to release some version of Star Wars movie every year. We won't see 8 till 2017, right?
Yeah, this one's supposed to come out next year, or later this year.
Yep, December of this year.
And then the rumor is that one of these spin-off movies will be like teenage to like early 20s Han Solo getting his start.
Oh, very cool.
So they don't know if he'll make an appearance in this one or not, but he's going to be in. There's rumor that one of them will be that, which is pretty cool.
They asked me to try out for that role, young Han Solo. I don't know why, but
just so they could say you're a little bit short to be a stormtrooper.
All right, cool. Cool, let's wrap this baby up. Upcoming events. I guess we're going to do a sweet Crash and Burn game night this weekend. We shout out to Joe Santagato on Facebook. If you don't watch his stuff, he's got a cool podcast. He's got some really funny videos.
Hilarious.
He reads Twitters. Great for him. He's got some really funny stuff. So he did a basically bad listening. So we're going to film us all doing that this weekend, and we'll put up the video early next week. That's all I got going on this weekend. I'm still trying to figure out some crap with my car. Frustrated with that, but I'll figure it out. That's a bit. Anything else going on?
No, not for me. I don't know.
How about you guys, rest of the team?
Is the Tattoo Expo this weekend or next weekend?
Not this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to stop by to that whenever that's there.
I'm going to be training my secret.
Nice. I'm excited.
Apprentice?
For those of you guys listening, we really appreciate if you guys follow us on YouTube as well as on Spreaker.com. Create a free account and just follow Crash and Burn on there. That's how we get all of our stuff up on iTunes. So it's pretty cool there. I have been trying to keep up more on iTunes, so if you guys are listening via iTunes or you have it show up on your phone, it should be showing up within 4 or 5 days of the previous live episode. Follow us on Twitter at Crash and Burn. Follow all of us. You should know who we are by now. At Mike Santola, at Erica Santola, at Andy Dickinson, at the Hipster Gunsmith, and at Leah Knaprap. Thank you again to our sponsors. We really appreciate it. Broken Angel Gear, Fox Den Tactical, Clean Snatch Soap, and Firearms Training in Western New York. Once again, Jim from Firearms Training in Western New York is holding a multi-state permit class or a pistol permit class, not this weekend, but the next weekend. We'll talk about it and promote it again. Check out his website for more information on that. Next week's guest, we're actually waiting on a confirmation on it, but we're hoping for Ivy Dave Moore. And Ivy Dave Moore 8888.
Ivy 8888 Dave Moore.
Right. So hopefully Dave's a funny dude. You may have caught him on our SHOT Show special this year, but hopefully we'll get him on next week. And I know if not Dave, the following week after that we have Ian Strimbeck, a pretty good friend of ours and big firearms trainer in the industry. So it should be a good time as well. So once again, thank you all for listening this week. We really appreciate it. Share it with your friends, and make sure you add yourself to the Crash and Burn Listeners group on Facebook. Ask your questions, whether it be technology, gunsmithing, or whatever. So we will catch you all next week. Thank you.
See ya!
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.